Hi, welcome to this short tutorial just to kind of show you how to resize your images, bulk resize your images using Preview on your Mac. It's super simple. It's a little bit limited, but if it's the only option you have, you don't have Lightroom, you don't have Blogstomp, you don't have Adobe software at all, then this is a great way to work with what you've got. And hopefully what you've got is a Mac because this is a Mac specific tutorial. So I've copied one of my lovely clients' portfolio um, folders here. She's organized them really well for me. This is a great example of how to organize your images, and she has them organized by service or like by type of session that she provides. And inside of each of those folders, there's session folders. She has already gone through the process of renaming her images as well to be SEO friendly names. So this will strictly be a tutorial on resizing them, because if we take a look at the actual size of the image, it's pretty large. So it's 5.5 megabytes, which is fine for printing or delivering a gallery or something like that that needs to be high resolution. But to optimize them for web, we ideally would like them to be around 300 kilobytes instead of megabytes. So we are way over that at 5.5 megabytes. You can see her dimensions there. It's a pretty large image, 6,000 pixels wide, 300 by 300 resolution. So that's way bigger than what we're needing for her website. So first step, we want to keep all of these original sizes for a couple of reasons. One being that as we go through this optimizing process, it's possible that you could not like the way they look after you optimize them or compress them a little bit too much. And you always want to be able to go backwards and make sure that you can start with your originals and try again. So we are going to highlight all of the main folders and create a new folder. And it's just going to be titled Original Size Images. And next, we're just going to duplicate that folder, which will duplicate everything inside of it as well. And I'll name that Resized Images. So you will have to do this folder by folder, which hopefully once you get the hang of it, it's just a couple of quick steps. You can do one after another pretty quickly. So you'll want to start in your first folder, highlight all of the images in that folder, right-click, and open with Preview. That'll take just a second. And it'll open up all of the images in that folder. You can see there's a carousel to the left that has all the images. And you'll want to select them all. So Command A to select all of your images. And then you'll go to Tools, Adjust Size. That will pull up a window for the image dimensions and some different settings you can or doesn't really export it technically, it just resaves them automatically. So this is my least favorite part about it, because typically what I recommend is for you to resize it according to the long edge of your image. So that would mean essentially your images are the same size. If the width of a horizontal image is 1800 pixels and the length of a vertical image is 1800 pixels, that means the short edge of each one of those will be the same as well. In this instance, you only have width and height, so your horizontal images are going to be a different size, a different dimension than your vertical images, but they will be proportional still. So this is just me being picky, I guess, but that is one thing that is a downside to doing your images this way. So I would say go ahead and try to set them to width 1800 to 2500. Obviously, the bigger the width, the larger the image size in terms of kilobytes, but setting them to 72 DPI will help as well. And this probably won't work, and if not, I will show you another way to do it. But I always like to try this first, and sometimes it just yells at me. So also I wanted to point out that all of these images together, the original size was 87.7 megabytes. So we're going to check to see how big it is after we're done with this process. Okay, so if you hit OK, it will yell at you. So I don't know why exactly, because the images were so large to begin with that it's not like I'm sizing up, but it's okay. I'm just going to do it this other way, which is fitting your image resize into certain aspect ratio, basically. So this way is the closest thing you can do to resizing them by the long edge. So essentially this way your images will fit inside a 1920 by 1920 pixel space, which means if the long edge of a horizontal, the long edge of the horizontal will be 1920, and the same goes for the vertical. So I'll go ahead and select that as our option, and I will hit OK. And you can see it starts automatically saving them as soon as you hit OK. It's going to take a second to resave all of those. It just does it in the background, but I wanted to pull this up full size again so that you can see. It doesn't appear to have minimized the quality very much, which is great. So we'll go ahead and close this preview. Oh, I guess it's still saving. So I'll just pull up Finder again while it finishes saving. And maybe actually I'll wait until it's finished. There we go. And now I can see how big it's 12.3 megabytes now. So we've gone from 87.7 for 25 images down to 12.3, which is a huge improvement already. We can click on one individual image to see, yeah, we're about at 300 kilobytes, which is close. You know, it would be most likely just fine, but I would recommend doing a compression to get your images down even a little bit more. But in general, that concludes my tutorial for how to resize your images using Preview. Hope you enjoyed.